All right. My name is Zeo Niu. I am a comic book writer and stand-up comedian based in Los Angeles, United States. And I just released my first graphic novel series, Monkey, Volume 1. And it's on Kickstarter right now. I don't know when is episode's going to come out, but it should, today is June 30th. America time, and it's going to end in 10 days. And so far, we are 200% funded, but we're trying to chase some stretch goals. So
Yeah, the full interview will be out Friday, but I'm gonna put out like a 1 minute clip tomorrow morning.
awesome. Yeah. So they still have a few days to catch up with the campaign and everything.
So that's cool. This is your very first book and it's fully funded. Who are you doing this by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing the art by myself. So, but in terms of running the campaign and putting together the project, it is basically my personal solo project. I wish I had some help, but I don't. It's a learning curve for sure. But I'm pretty lucky and blessed to have a great team to work on this project. Like, my artist David, the colorist Nikos, and the cover colorist Rico. They're all, Frank, the letter. They're all professionals, and very lucky to have them. So, it's a comic book, so the art aspect of it is extremely important. And I've heard a lot of people are really happy about the style and the art. So yeah.
That's that's what I was gonna say. That's what grabbed my attention was the art. It's like professional level.
Hmm.
You could smack like a DC Marvel or Image logo on the front of it. I don't think anybody would be able to tell.
Well, our colorist actually worked on inner page colorist Nikos. He actually worked on a lot of project for like Image, IDW, and he himself is a line artist. So he has his own series
That's
from
cool.
Image Comic, and the cover colorist, the person who did the promo pinups and covers. The colorist, his name is Rico Renzi, and he actually is the colorist for like She-Hulk, Spider Punk, and a bunch of stuff. So yeah, and Dave is,
Yeah.
is a veteran. He's based on in Spain, and I'm just very happy to have them. Yeah.
I seen one of your Instagram reels that said you was making this comic book to get back at your parents because because you had such a strict childhood.
Yeah, basically, I grew up reading a lot of manga and definitely a nerd. I was learning violin for 14 years. No complaints. I do like it, but basically, there's one day my mom just threw away all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and that's a heartbreaking moment for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to explain why that's so heartbroken. It's just for her, just a piece of paper or a bunch of cards, but. I do believe a lot of adults, maybe not all of them, but a lot of adults who still likes games, comic books and all the nerd related stuff. It's the compensation for the fact that they don't have a childhood. So when they got a chance to make their own decisions, this is the life they're choosing. So I'm in my 30s, but playing video games every day and very happy about it.
I gave my whole Pokemon collection to my niece, and then a few years later, Pokemon just blew up again.
Oh my
And
God, are they worth a lot now?
I don't know. She didn't have them. She ended up trading them with her friends and doing what kids do with cards.
I mean, at least you give it to your niece. At least that's like the end of
Yeah,
Toy Story 3, when you give the box of toy. You know what I mean? It's very
yeah,
heartwarming. It's heartwarming.
yeah,
Mine end up in the trash.
yeah. That sucks, though. I'm sorry that you went through that. You said you're a stand-up comedian.
Mhm.
Where are your shows at? Like, if anybody wants to come see you in the future.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. Yours come out of Friday, so on July 7th, I have a show at the Hollywood Improv on Melrose, Los Angeles, and on the 14th, July 14th, a Sunday, I have a show at the Comedy Store. So I do shows all around LA. I have a monthly show at the Hollywood Improv, and sometimes I do the store, and yeah, just all over South SoCal, basically, Southern California.
It's cool. I think you're my first stand-up comedian that I've interviewed. That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
you're pretty lucky that.
Yeah. I talked to a few lawyers, some sheriffs.
Sheriffs. Okay.
Yeah, and I think a doctor once.
Okay.
That's about the it's about the most notable ones I can think of. That you wouldn't think would be making
Mm-hmm.
comics. You know?
Good for them. At least they have the pockets to
Yeah.
kind of fund it. Because let me tell you, there's no financial return in this.
That's what I hear all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. So, which also the good side of it is like, since there is very little to negative financial return, what you see are all basically real passion, and the motive is just like, since we're not making any money, this is really what every creator want to put out, is like what they really want to show the world.
what is the elevator pitch about monkeys?
Right. Monkey is basically I call it post-apocalyptic comedy action saga. It focuses on our hero, a monkey that was that's exhumed in the Arizona desert in the 60s, 50s and 60s, and then we focus on his ongoing battle against the American government with the Cold War as the backdrop, and then he basically started World War III, which bring us to the post-apocalyptic world that's pretty wacky and fun, and that's the whole backdrop of Journey to the West. So it's very loosely based on the Chinese 16th century fantasy Journey to the West,
Right.
but I would say the story is totally different. The backdrop is totally different. The vibe is very different as well. But whether you like Journey to the West or not, or you have heard of it or not, I think you'll be able to enjoy the series. Nevertheless, yeah.
Is the book completed? So after the Kickstarter, you just got to print and ship?
Yes. So the volume one, which is the one I'm raising money on Kickstarter right now, has been completed a while ago. So when you back the project, you will probably receive the digital copy very, very quick, because that was done, and the physical copy will go out. Hopefully, everyone will receive it around like August, unless you're like not in the U.S. or somewhere very far. But you should be able to receive everything around August, or if not like September, with some pinups and prints and stuff like that. So about the whole thing, I kind of wanted to make it into a series. So volume 2 has been completed as well. The only thing that's pending is color and lettering. So that's hopefully going to be released soon. And I do intend to split that into 2 like issues, because I made a very bad financial choices to release the first uh, first installment of a series as a 62-page graphic novel. I learned it probably is better to lower the price, lower the page count, and try to gain more tractions and gain more fans. But that's my plan on volume 2. It probably will just split it into but I don't even know how to call it, issue 2 and issue 3. It'll be both like 30 something pages each, sort of.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could do like volume 2, issue 1, volume 2, issue 3.
Yeah, but it confuses people. I still need to figure out how to correct my mistake as a newcomer in this field. Yeah.
I mean, that's cool that your very first comic book is a 60-page graphic novel, you know?
Yeah, I think I
That
was overly ambitious, and I'm very glad it was completed, and it's quite a bumpy road for the past 2 years. I've been working on this, and my team has been working on this. So I actually have another one. This is not the first. This is the first comic book or graphic novel that I released, but it's not the first one that I completed. I've completed another. It's a horror, graphic novel that's also, it's about 80 pages standalone, already done. That one I'm still trying to figure out the marketing angle for it, because it's definitely mm, more like a indie and artsy kind of feeling. And
okay.
I've come to realize how fierce the competition is on Kickstarter, and unfortunately there's no naked women in my books, so that's it's going to be an obstacle for people to back it. Yeah.
That seems to be trending right now. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
my day job. I work at a comic book printing company, and we get,
Oh,
yeah, I'll send you the information after we're done so you can check them out. But
awesome.
yeah, we get a lot of just extremely vulgar covers, just right on the
Yeah.
cover, just no
Yeah,
surprise,
just
just boom, here you
legs
are.
wide open.
Yeah,
Yeah, like those. Yeah.
yep, yep,
But
here you
here's the
are.
thing. Yeah, if you take a look at like Kickstarter, um, there's some, big ones. If you weed out all those like IDW, like those, comic, like legit comic book publishers that has decades of fan base and stuff like that. If you weed that out, and most of the stuff that's popping is not safe for work. Like if you take a look at like how many people are backing it, how much money are they're doing very well. But then if you weed that out, like it's actually pretty hard to even raise anything more than I would say $5,000 for
Mm.
at least for the first few. Once you build like an audience and gain some kind of traction, it's a little bit easier. I think that's the first book. It's kind of hard to get to like a good place. Yeah.
Yeah, I think once when this one comes out, the second one will just be easy.
I hope so. I really hope so because this one, it's a it's such a journey. And once you start a campaign, if you're listening and you want to start your own comic book or graphic novel or projects like that, once this campaign started, that's the only thing you can think of. You will refresh your phone or computer like 3,000 times a day for sure. And
Hmm.
I lost sleep. Yeah, everyone. And I talked to a lot of people. It's the feeling gets pretty common. You lose sleep and you're like, why? Why are you compare yourself to others? Yeah. It's. I'm glad I'm almost done with this. I'm just glad it's over, to be honest.
Does it get easier once when you hit your funding amount?
Um, I mean, I actually that's the thing. I think the most important thing is to have a very realistic um, goal and have a realistic outlook, so you don't get too disappointed and stuff like that.
Mm.
So um, I would say do a lot of research on projects on Kickstarter, and not only focus on their page and how much money they've raised. Also focus on like, is this their first Kickstarter or is this their 29? Because it's not very fair to compare with a first time Kickstarter or something that doesn't have really attraction or fan base to someone who's been doing it for 7 8 years and they've
Mm.
learned a lot of things. They have a humongous email list. And also take a look at whether the creator is a publishing company or an independent publisher instead of just like a solo, like a one person. So if you filter all that out, and then you will have a ballpark number of what's an average one, what's a good one, and what's a unsuccessful one, and yours will fall in somewhere in that ballpark, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I had pretty unrealistic expectations before I get it started, and then I realized, okay, I'm not comparing apples to apples. So yeah, just to not let you don't carry yourself over it because I almost did, but still breathing.
What's some things that you would do different on your second Kickstarter?
First of all, the issue page count,
Mm.
and that's going to be a huge thing that I realize, especially for a new project or something that's not an existing IP that people are already familiar with. Uh, you want to set a price tag low to make sure you get as many people hooked as possible, and the stakes are lower for people to kind of, okay, this is something new, I want to give it a try. But if the price tag is too high, it set up an obstacle for people to actually back it. So in the meantime, that ties in with the page count, right? So it
Mhm.
takes it's more money to print it and everything. I would say start small, and that's something I will I wish I've learned. And if I want to do it all over again, I wouldn't even start um, from a series. I would start from a standalone stuff that's like maybe 24 pages. And it's okay if it's like only funded for like 2,000, 3,000. At least that's a start, and you start small. I started too big and I almost shoot myself in the foot. That would be yeah. And also just this is the one area that I'm actually pretty bad at, and I'm compensating with paid ads. is organic traction on social media. I don't know how to crack the code, but some people have, and you got to spend 6 months, even a year, or more than a year. I've seen people spend years just posting stuff, posting their illustration, updates, everything, and then until they have a fan base, then they release their project. Because one thing they don't tell you is Kickstarter probably will give you a tiny boost in the first maybe 48 hours. You will get some backers through the the page, like the front page recommendation. But after that, it was all you. It's nothing but a marketplace. It doesn't really, you can't bank on, oh, if I put it there, if my art is good, people are just going to see it because it is on Kickstarter. That's not going to happen because you're competing with all the naked ladies, big publishers, people who've been doing it for many, many years. Like you gotta make sure you are the one who's going to bring the audience in, not the platform. The platform is nothing but like a marketplace, like Instagram or TikTok. There's no difference whatsoever. Yeah.
Are you going to any Comic Cons this year?
I try to apply, but they're all like filled up, and it's just so hard to even get a spot. I planned, but all the ones I planned, like the San Diego one, that's not gonna happen. I know it's. I think that it's filled up like a long time ago. The LA one, there's a lot of Comic Cons around California. I don't think they're all gonna filled up pretty soon. I'd have to kind of travel out of state, and I'm trying to calculate like whether that's worth it or not. So kind of, you have to, yeah, with especially if you want to sell your comic book there, like it become
Yeah.
a problem when it's like too far. Like if you travel by air, like how many books can you just, pack
Yeah.
up in your carry-on? So I don't know. Do you think it's worth it? Like,
Um, some people say it is. Some
mhm,
people say it's not. I think it's a
mhm.
little of both. All depends on like how far you're willing to drive, plus the table, plus gas, and
Yeah, but it's like any kind of art, like you see like rock bands when they start, they
yeah.
drive 10, 20 hours to a shitty venue and they play for $25, and hopefully that
Hmm.
will cover their gas, and they have to choose between gas and food. That's
Oh yeah.
that's so yeah. But sometimes I think about it like from another perspective is like, people always talk about how hard it is to start something that's not a franchise anymore, like Batman, Spider-Man, all that stuff. So yeah, they only pay attention to those, but on my shit, I'm like, yeah, those stuff was written in like the 40s. They
Yeah.
have 70, 80 years of build up. You can't just expect yours to just gain the same kind of traction or even 1 millionth of it overnight. So it really takes time, and it's you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm not painting too much of a gloomy picture.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, please go to Kickstarter and search Monkey, and this will be one of the first campaigns that pop up. It's called Monkey Volume 1. The full title is Monkey Volume 1, a trippy post-apocalyptic action comedy. And we have, when you see this, we probably have like a few days to go and back our project, and you will receive the physical copy or the digital copy fairly quick. And please follow us on Instagram. The handle is Monkey Comic, one word, Monkey Comic, and we'll be posting our updates and screenshots and whatnot on our social media, and you can follow us along. And hopefully I'm planning to release volume 2 or issue 2, whatever you call it, in a few months fairly soon to kind of bridge the gap and get the traction going.
Great. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come talk with me.
Yeah, thank you so much for reaching out. And I would have reached out to you. I'm actually, yeah, talked to a few podcasts, but this is very fun.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comic Chat Authority? Oh, come on, subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.